Sky High Season 2, Gen V, the spiritual successor, but with buttholes for some reason.
It's amazing that it constantly surprises me. But
With the gratuity?
yeah, with that, I should expect it by now with the boys universe. But here I am going, no, there's an arsehole and a dick.
I think it's because it's way out of left field for like no reason. Like a lot of time, it's like they just kind of remind you that they can do it.
Some of it you don't flinch at, like the small guy inside of the arsehole. We've saw that before.
Yeah, it's definitely a weaker point of the season for me because it's not blended that well half the time. Like occasionally they do some funny things, like I did laugh at the butt chug because like that's a thing in our world. What if this guy was a superhero and he could actually butt chug? I'm like, sure.
I suppose that guy's power is he can just inhale a lot of air and blow it.
Well, he was the one with the guy inside his ass.
Ah,
So I assume his power is just like that his ass is the TARDIS. Maybe. But the show is actually quite good. 4 episodes in. I'm pretty happy. I think I'm mainly being held up by the mystery and by the new Dean with his performance.
obviously an incredible actor.
Most people know him from Midnight Mass.
He's copped in a few things.
Yeah, but he is incredible. Every time he's on screen, I'm legitimately captivated.
Oh yeah, it's like he does such a good job of playing a calm Dean who also has Homelander breathing down his neck.
But you kind of feel like he could take Homelander.
Yeah.
You don't know why.
And then you cut to a wide of him on a shitty little bike with his helmet. And I'm like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I laughed at that.
It's pure aura coming from this man, and he's just... It's all casting, I think. Like,
Yeah.
yes, they've written him well in the way that he's always one step ahead of everyone, and it feels realistic.
Almost like he's dealing with teenagers who don't know anything.
Exactly.
You know.
It's a strong part of the season. Let's go back to the beginning-ish. So the basic setup is we're back at school.
We're doing a hard reset,
Yeah, they realize this show is a mystery show set at school.
like Harry Potter. Harry Potter made billions of being a
is, holy
mystery
shit.
show set at school with
Yeah.
magic.
Holy shit,
So,
it
yeah,
actually is. I
yeah.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Legitimately. I was thinking about Sky High too much. But that's what this is. It's they go to class, they have to do stuff, but they knew what they had, and I think I was a little surprised by that. I expected them to do something different. Like The Boys seems to evolve season to season, sometimes for the worst. But this reset and did exactly what I wanted it to do, I guess.
Well, that's why we all love the school archetype, because it's a good setup for characters to be in conflict, to do challenges.
They don't have to go to work. They're forced to be in one space. They can sneak out.
The sad elephant in the room is, of course, the actor who I forget the name.
Chance Perdomo.
Who sadly passed away in a motorbike accident.
Yes, just before they started production as well.
And they have done an admirable job of working this into the story, because not only are the characters sad, but the actual actors are obviously incredibly sad over this.
And he is the focal point of the season.
Yeah, because if this was, let's say, obviously, a different actor was playing and the actor got cancelled, you probably would have just recast him. But I say this, that maybe the original plan was, I don't know what we'll have in the future, but at least some part of an episode in the prison, because it is weird that season 1 ends with them in prison.
Yeah.
And then the next we know is Marie's already out, they're already getting out and back to it. Well, I imagine that maybe the original plan was half an episode in prison. But then I'm thinking maybe there's a flashback. Maybe there's a whole flashback episode of them in prison. Who knows? But
It was definitely an abrupt change, and I get they were thrown a curveball, and it sucks. Like, what happened to Chance is awful. And they've done pretty good. But it is always hard when characters are referencing something you haven't seen. So it's always like, they basically have to tell you. So they tell you about Andre's sacrifice, and they have to tell you all these things. And it's always referencing like a fight, even without Chance being included. So it's basically Jordan and Marie are having a fight because Marie betrayed Jordan by leaving solo, like by escaping when she saw a Chance. So these characters are mad at each other for something we haven't seen. And they do put a lot of emphasis on that.
the actors do a good job of delivering that this person was important to us. Like this is on me. I accidentally hit skip last season, but I felt very out the loop for like the first half of the episode. I was like, yeah, what was happening again? Who are these people again? Because it's been 2 years.
Yeah, and it's not so much of like a status quo reset because everything has changed.
Yeah.
So this status quo reset doesn't come until episode 2 when you're like, they're back at school now.
And then I felt more settled in, and
Almost like the characters.
I'm enjoying, once again, I don't think this is too much of a hot take, but I think I'm enjoying Gen V more than The Boys. I think my hottish take is that The Boys is only good in season 1.
I think I'm in agreement. Like, I still like The Boys 2, 3, 4. 4, we made a whole video about it. It stressed us.
Like when I rewatched season 1, I was like, oh, this has like a flavour to it. Like, this is why this show was big.
Yeah. Well, Gen V, I loved season 1. I think season 1 is stronger than season 2 so far, but I think it might be because we've taken a little bit of time to get into what we're doing.
Yeah.
But like episode 3 and 4 of this show, because they're focusing more on the dean, the kids are all coming together, we're actually getting some tension between the characters that we've seen occur. I'm like, okay, I'm in. Like, I'm actually properly in now.
Pretty good fights as well.
Yes.
I remember laughing at the pronouns he, she, liar.
Yes.
The gender bender versus the blood bender. This time there's no safe space. Like, no space is safe. That was it.
They do that so well. And it's funny because a lot of people are calling this Boys later seasons and Gen V very woke. And it's like, it feels like it's definitely centrist, making fun of both sides.
I'd say so. You didn't watch the HBO Watchmen, did you?
Never got around to it, no.
There's a bit where before they watch a movie, they have to sit through like 10 seconds of like trigger warning, like screen, like this contains. I'm like, oh yeah, so we're kind of,
yes,
thumbing our nose at that side a little bit too.
America is a parody of Gen V because the Vought Hotel and Spa being the people that are housing this UFC event, whereas the White House is literally about to hold a UFC event, but they wrote this way before that. Somehow, Gen V was outdone by America.
Politicizing of a attack on a famous figure, which is a main vocal point here. It was like Starlighters did this, no, they didn't.
Yes. Jordan comes forward and says that she did it, and then everyone's like, "No, you're lying." It's like, ugh.
And like, I know there's probably examples of this in American and general history of when tensions are high, we try and blame the other side. But it is eerie that it's so similar. But then also, as people living in Australia, watching The Boys and then just going to the news, I struggle, like, ignoring the superpowers. It's not that different.
Yeah.
Like, from an outsider looking in.
It works too well. You can say it's like the semi-whole, like, history repeats itself. So, like, if you write something timeless, like Star Wars is weirdly timeless in the ways that, like, oh, it wasn't so much referencing one thing, it's referencing so many things that it's happening again. It's Wilf being like, it's happening again. Yeah. But, yeah, the show is just nailing it for me in so many things. And I just keep wanting to talk about Cypher.
He's definitely the MVP.
Let's talk about the mystery then.
We know Odessa is Marie.
Yes.
But it's exactly what Odessa is the thing.
Odessa is a weapon, so Marie was bred as a weapon.
Cypher delivered her.
Every other experiment failed. Marie was the only one that survived. So there was a bunch of dead babies. And then how is Cypher the same age / who's the person in his household vault thing?
That's his dad.
He says that.
Who I assume was one of the guys from the experiment.
Thomas Godolkin, maybe.
Or one of those. Yeah, because Godolkin didn't blow up.
And it's The Boys, so if someone dies, they want to show you it graphically. So the fact they don't show it. What my current thought is maybe Godolkin was about to burn alive in that fire. He was about to pass out, jabbed himself, got the power to maybe puppet master people.
He's controlling Cypher.
Yeah, which is why Cypher doesn't have anything in any V in his blood, because Marie checks his blood and knows there's no compound V in there, which was actually a really good scene. I really enjoyed how Cypher figured that out, because Kate says there's no compound V in your blood, and he's immediately like, oh, you know a bloodbender who I've been hanging out with and teaching. Obviously Marie. So it's just that kind of thing that he's written smart.
This is always the giveaway sometimes. The actor playing Godolkin in that flashback is Ariana Grande's boyfriend.
Oh, was it?
So he's in Wicked and he's famously SpongeBob SquarePants on stage. So you hire an actor who is
someone.
Who's someone.
Yeah.
Like I always know, whenever you see a character, like I've seen him in a few things, he's going to be important in 20 minutes.
We'll see him back or he'll come back.
Because why would you get him and why would you open on him if he wasn't going to come back?
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think he's in there controlling Cypher.
But he was...
Maybe he could control 2 or 3.
He was talking, so yeah, maybe he can go... Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, maybe he can just control a few people. He's a powerful person. Yeah.
But I don't know where it's going in a good way, which is always nice. Like, there's enough here to keep me going.
And I'm really happy to see that little cricket has now got her own little gang of... She gets them and they're like, what, you're just doing basic graffiti? Yeah. The whole thing was, if you're going to get in trouble, you get in trouble for doing something
people
properly.
Are going to kill you for standing up for Starlighters anyway.
And I've already been in prison. So
True.
So she's coming out on that end. For some reason, that character has a believable relationship with everyone. So I completely believe that like now she's close friends with Polarity Senior.
She seems like, I don't know, she's just a nice person.
And all of them are quite likable.
Yes. Even Kate,
Yeah.
who's meant to be unlikable. You feel bad for Kate.
Well, then they go to the effort of going like, oh, says you were taking 4 dicks in the bathroom. Oh, those 4 dicks belong to one guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's funny.
They don't use them being teenagers to make them stupid, but they allow everyone else to be ahead of them. Because, like, I didn't even think about the cameras. They broke into this man's house, and I'm like, well, obviously, they're going to be found out. But I didn't expect it would be as simple as Cypher just texting him, we live in a world of cameras, dickhead.
Yeah.
I saw you do that. Like, we need to chat.
Do you think they keep emphasizing that the social media manager lady who has a bee stinger?
Yes.
They keep reminding us of that to the point where either
will
they're going
die.
to do it or they're not going to do it.
Yeah, someone's getting stung and she's dying, but
Yeah.
they keep bringing it up.
What a terrible, horrible power to have. That it's just out there oozing out the back here.
Well, it is funny that you're allowed in school because of a power that even if that power sucks.
Well, Bushmaster said.
Bushmaster, so good.
She said the only reason I'm here is because my dad paid for the library.
Well, until this season, we thought Rat Tail Girl had rat tail powers.
Turns out she's a mimic.
Yes, which is definitely written for this season. So Sam has been kind of backseated this season.
Because she'd numb him whenever he started feeling things.
He was a drug addict, basically, yeah, and his drug was not caring. He is a likable character. He's very vulnerable a lot of the time, and he's definitely going to do stuff later, but he did kind of vanish this season for a bit because he's going on his own little vision quest because he's crazy. Because he mattered a lot last season.
He was like wasn't he what was making his brother stronger? Like he was so strong that they were using him.
Yeah, they were siphoning him into the brother. Oh, Cypher.
So it is a thing.
That was the word. No, siphon, different, completely.
But that's what he's siphoning himself into something.
Yes, so they tricked us.
And I can only imagine it's going to be a new dean every like here you go. It's a
The
new
defense
defense
against dark arts.
There it is. It's
Yeah.
stupid as it is. Or in Only Murders, there's a new person living upstairs every season.
Yes.
I really like the Marie thing, where Marie goes to her not aunt. She says what we've all been, well, at least what I've been thinking since season 1, going, my parents did this to me. I had a normal moment. I had a period, and that happened. And then you all are acting like I'm a monster who did this. My parents did this to me. And then even when the aunt says, just hang on, but they got pregnant with my sister. She goes, yeah, she was the miracle.
Yes.
It's like,
Gut
Jesus,
punch.
like, really? You're going to say that?
It's all really well done.
Might forget that the initial setup of the boys was that only America had superpowers because America believed in God and God had blessed them with superpowers. So then it was the reveal that, which is the weirdest conspiracy in the world, that all these parents
Have somehow kept quiet.
have somehow kept
Yeah.
quiet, but I guess they get paid off and they get hush moneyed.
But there was also less soups in season 1.
But then it's revealed in season 4 that as we were annoyed at, all these crimes are pretend. Even the crimes that we saw were definitely real in season 1, and those contract sellings, like, oh, we'll give you this superhero in this city for 2 years for this much money.
Yeah.
Turns out all that's just pretending.
They accidentally fucked themselves. Whereas I guess maybe that's why this show's pure. They haven't ruined anything
They
yet.
haven't ruined anything. And they're at the point where, because I was going to Sarah, I said, you kind of need to have seen season 4 now.
Literally because Newman.
She's gone, and now there's the Starlighters.
Yeah.
I said that's a bit annoying because this show largely works perfectly fine by itself.
Well, Marco hasn't seen season 4 of The Boys, but he wants to watch Gen V season 2.
Well, you give him
So I'm
5
like,
bullet points and he's fine, you know.
I feel like you'll get more out of it if you've seen The Boys season
And
4.
that's
But
because
yeah.
Tech Knight, who's introduced in Gen V, is then in The Boys.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So it's a hard one. I kind of wish they didn't cross over as much as they do, but also I get why they kind of have to.
And then isn't there like another Boys spin-off? Boys Mexico or something? Or am I misremembering something?
There is one I can't remember, but then there's also Soldier Boy in the past. So they're doing Soldier Boy in the past with Jensen Ackles, and then there's something that I can't remember.
It's a bit ironic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been pointed out. Considering that The Boys mocks, like,
Yeah.
what do they call it? Vortify instead of Spotify?
I think they're going to lean into it, and they know it's ridiculous at least, so it's going to be self-aware.
Yeah.
But there are worries of, once all 4 shows are crossing over, we're just in the Marvelverse now.
Well, I'm just waiting for in 20 years whether like Invincible versus The Boys, because they own both.
Yeah.
You know, and
There's no reason why this show couldn't remain completely separate, and you could always have the overlooming Homelander threat or like references to him, but literally including the Starlighters.
I'm enjoying it more than Peacemaker. I'm engaged in it more. I think it's got, I thought episodes 3 and 4 were very enjoyable, and I look forward to see where it's going. And the humor of it, like when the marketing guy from Vought They start getting.
Can I go now?
Yeah. I feel I don't need to be here because you forget that they live in a world in which Homelander will just laser your head off now, and it's completely fine.
So he's constantly terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the show, and if the next 4 episodes are at least on par or...
You'll be pleased.
Yeah, if I get a good, satisfying reveal about what's going on, I'm keen.
For me, I feel like it's just as good as season 1, but I haven't watched season 1 since
I think it's just taken longer. I think now it's as good. Now that it's going, I am really enjoying it. And I'm keen to see where it goes. And yeah, if I get a satisfying reveal... Oh, one thing I actually really love, because I'm sky-high coded, the fact that the Dean is trying to improve their powers, and they're actually not just doing shitty, like, social media courses.
Because the plan is he clearly...
You could kill Homelander.
The AOC. Wasn't she basically blood powers or something?
She was exactly the same blood powers, but I think they might have tweaked that now that she's gone. It almost feels like there's a different crew writing Gen V, a slightly better crew, to be honest. And when the boys does something, they're like, fuck, now we have to change this. Yeah, so keen for it.
It's transtastic.